Hi there and welcome to Apple World. Steve Harvey, whom we all know from family-friendly network programs like Family Quarrel and his well-established vocation as a humorist and moderator of a similar Steve, who has constructed a picture as a clean, decent, practically protective figure in the diversion world. However, behind that clean persona, it appears there might be a much hazier side. Obviously, there's a criminal examination in progress, and that's what they trust. There would be proof of wrongdoings in one or, on the other hand, both of these homes. The sensational news dropped with a crushing weight when Diddy was captured in Manhattan. Government specialists took him in on charges that sound like they're straight out of a wrongdoing. Thrill ride racketeering scheme, double dealing, and more. Stacey Schneider. What's more? Stacey, you say the present arraignment peruses like a crowd prosecution. What was generally surprising to you about every one of these charges? Better believe it, the reality, Jake, that the government in this prosecution introduced proof charging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise. This was immense. Diddy's business domain has spread over music-style TV and nightlife for quite a long time. However, the capture has punctured the picture of the music portable everybody thought they knew as more details surfaced. Murmurs began to whirl, and many individuals started to ponder the number of others who could be engaged with this wreck, and afterward, blast the gossip that hit the web far and wide. Steve Harvey, the dearest host and joke artist, had escaped the country precisely the same day Diddy was arrested, a happenstance not reasonable. I've had clients portray MDC as damnation as the most terrible circumstances they've been in. The way that Steve Harvey left the U.S. when Diddy was put behind bars has started a torrential slide of specule. Might it at any point be that Steve knew the walls were surrounding him too as the days go by? An ever-increasing number of individuals assume, so it's a well-known fact that Steve has gone to a significant number of Diddy's scandalous parties throughout the long term, those lavish-gazed occasions that appeared to be the extreme indication of outcome in the diversion world. However, as we've now come to realize, those gatherings weren't simply about the glamour and fabulousness. There were a lot hazier things occurring behind the scenes, and Steve's association with them is causing a commotion. Extraordinary Lodging Unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, and that implies that any development inside that unit is controlled and facilitated, and no detainee moves outside of his cell without being in limitations to incorporate leg irons, cuffs, a midsection chain, and something like 2. On the off chance that not 3 staff individuals accompanying them, we should rewind a piece and discuss these amazing gatherings that used to toss to the rest of the world. They appeared like the spot to be VIPs for music films, sports, and legislative issues, scouring bears, all while Diddy solidified his notoriety as a definitive host. However, as time continued, an ever-increasing number of bits of gossip surfaced about what truly went down at those gatherings. Bits of hearsay that alluded to some truly sketchy exercises. The new charges, and that's what captures proposed, these weren't simply innocuous social occasions. Assuming you pay attention to individuals presently approaching Diddy's gatherings, were substantially more than that. They were purportedly a favorable place for a wide range of criminal operations. And it's not simply Diddy who's under the magnifying instrument. Each high-profile visitor who joined in counting Steve Harvey is presently being taken a gander at with doubt rehash with incredibly troublesome and obscene charges, including claims that Combs had cameras all through his home. It's been said that Steve wasn't simply a relaxed visitor at these gatherings. Either rumors from far and wide suggest that he was a normal in installation at probably the most stunning evenings in Diddy and Circle. This is where things get truly intriguing. Sources near the examination are implying that the FBI has observers who guarantee to have seen Steve participating in some pretty appetizing stuff. These aren't simply individuals tossing out ridiculous allegations. These are people who supposedly went to similar gatherings and seen Steve engaging in things that are not simply humiliating, however, possibly unlawful. The Diddy was running some sort of Epstein-type bargain where he was shooting everyone right. That is the reports, no doubt. I don't have a clue about that. There's any verification or something besides that. Now this is where the story, truth be told, for quite a long time, he's introduced himself as a definitive family man, a committed spouse and father, somebody who could offer guidance to millions on how to carry on with a good life. His top-rated book, Behave Like a Woman, Think Like a Man, established his place as a voice of reason in the frequently turbulent universe of connections. However, imagine a scenario in which it was every one of the fronts. Consider the possibility that it was each of the fronts. Imagine a scenario where, in the background, Steve Harvey was carrying on with a twofold life, regularly visiting occasions that were everything except healthy. I got to take some time to address this here. Obviously, Steve has assembled a realm on his appeal mind and amazing character. He's been the substance of incalculable network programs, from syndicated programs to game shows, and he's generally revered for his straightforward way to deal with life. However, this new data could change everything. The thought that Dave might have been the profoundly disturbing exercises purportedly occurring at Diddy's gatherings is excessively for individuals to really understand. Could the one who's been doing our life guidance for quite a long time be concealing something this dim asserted? Proof that has been accumulated for this situation was from those two assaults that were directed at his individual homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Furthermore, the assignment names that the thing held on to were that he purportedly made recordings of these exhibitions, as those have been named freak-offs. The reality that Steve left the country similarly as Diddy was being captured has individuals humming. How could he escape, assuming he had nothing to conceal? It's one thing to continue an unconstrained excursion, however. To leave the U.S. the second a nearby partner is taken down in a huge outrage that is not something the vast majority would do, except if they had a generally excellent motivation to. And for Steve, that reason may be dread that the specialists are surrounding him next presently. So what is next? Is he going to be in prison in this office until the preliminary starts? Is there an opportunity he might at any point get moved before than that as of this second, as of this hour, starting today? Yes, obviously, as I referenced before, they will be engaging this thing close to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Requests to upset the adjudicators. Structure here to attempt also get him really delivered. What's much more chilling is that it's not simply Steve's participation at these gatherings that is under a magnifying glass. There are murmurs said, supposedly from believable sources near the examination, that Steve wasn't simply an uninvolved onlooker. As per these sources, the FBI has been get-together proof for quite a long time, and they've talked with numerous observers who guarantee Steve effectively took part in the absolute generally surprising and unlawful exercises that went down at these occasions. We're discussing things that, whenever demonstrated, could totally demolish his profession and lead to serious legal results. For what reason doesn't the public authority need to turn himself in on the grounds that then they can't request detainment, so they go further? They capture them, they capture the person who came to New York to hand himself over until further notice? Steve has stayed quiet, pretty much this. He's not given any public proclamation, and his delegate has been dubiously peaceful. Yet behind the scenes, you can wager his legitimate group is staying at work past 40 hours to sort out some way to explore the tempest. The way that Steve escaped the nation proposes he knows. The fact that he could makes there a genuine chance of being embroiled in this embarrassment. All things considered, in the event that he didn't really have anything to stress over, is there any valid reason why he wouldn't simply wait and shield himself? We as a whole saw it posted yesterday all around all virtual entertainment pages. Cassie battled a claim in New York City against Diddy. She's guaranteeing she was caught in a decades-long pattern of misuse. What makes this considerably more seriously surprising is the sheer differentiation between Steve's clean-as-a-whistle public picture and the claims presently twirling around him. This is a man who has constructed his image as being interesting, reliable, and brimming with down-to-earth intelligence. He's the last individual anybody would hope to be up to speed in something like this, yet the more we find out about what supposedly happened at D's gatherings, the more it appears as anybody who was routinely in participation could be involved, that he controlled each part of her life. He is blamed for regularly beating her and would stow away her in lodgings for a really long time until the swelling indications of misuse were gone, and we should not neglect Steve's nearby relationship with Diddy. It just adds fuel to the fire. Throughout the long term, the two have been seen together at various occasions. Furthermore, there's been no lack of public appreciation between them. Steve has even lauded Diddy's innovative soul and acknowledged him as a motivation. Yet presently within jail and confronting major allegations, that relationship is out of nowhere, looking significantly more dubious also. In this claim, he asserts that basically P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap. The genuine inquiry on everybody's mind, this does Steve need to stow away? Is it conceivable that he was simply a visitor at these gatherings, had no clue about what was truly continuing, or, as the gossip pose, was he a willing member in the exercises that have now prompted Diddy's ruin? Truly still up in the air, yet as additional subtleties arise, it's turning out to be increasingly hard to give Steve the opportunity to be vindicated. The reality that the FBI has supposedly been examining Diddy's organization for quite a long time implies that they're not simply checking out him. They're seeing each and every individual who's at any point been firmly connected. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.